Okay, now we're ready to start to roughen the value. And I'm only going to go through a few of these with you so that you have time to complete the rest of your project on your own. But one of the things that I want to go over is how to smooth or smudge some lines. So if you tried the finger tip compass method, you might still have your tissue with you. So keep your paper towel or your tissue with you close because you'll need it. So to start to add the value in, I'm not going to have any value up here in 1, so I can erase that out. I'm going to start lightly with 2 and then make it darker as I go down. Now you can always go back and rework your value back and forth, but I'm going to use the side of my pencil. I'm just going to lightly start to shade in some of this value here, and I'm doing it kind of quickly. You'll want to take your time. I just want to get some of this in here so you guys can see how this works. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm keeping in mind my value scale. For my 2 to my 3 here. Now the lines are just a guideline. If you look at the sphere that you have in front of you and your little still life there, it is going to not have a line like this. It won't be there. So you can actually even kind of shade up above it. And if the 2 to the 3 is bothering you, you can erase that out too. If it's a little dark, mine was a little dark. And then down here at the 4 to the 5, it's going to get darker. Okay, so the goal of this is we put those lines in, but then we also kind of want to take them out. And this is definitely going to get darker, but I want to show you how to use your paper towel to smudge. So you can do one of a couple things. You can take your paper towel and put it around your finger, or you can take your paper towel and you can put it around your pencil tip eraser. It's totally up to you, whichever you choose. And they also make things called stumps or tortillons for things like that, but this will be just fine. And then you can take and you can soften or smudge that line some. So it makes the value not so sharp in those areas. Now, the bad thing that it does is it takes some of that value away, so you might have to go back in and put it back in if it makes everything kind of gray and dark, like it did here. So if everything starts to get kind of gray, you might want to go back in and add some value into certain areas like this. Now, if it makes everything too dark, you can use your pencil, the eraser, very similar to how you use your pencil. You can go back in and just very lightly brush over wherever it is that you're working at, or just very gently tap over. You just want to make sure your eraser is clean. If it's not clean, you can just erase it on a white sheet of the paper, and that'll clean it up. Or if you have jeans on, you can use jeans or just the table. It doesn't matter. And then you can go back to working. So when you're doing this, you're constantly kind of going to be working on pushing and pulling the value of the sphere to be able to make it become more dynamic and more 3D and create area of contrast. Okay. The other thing is when the 5s, you want to make sure that the 5s are really, really dark, especially the background. The darker your background is, the more your ball is going to stand out.